Captain Lisa Martinez was drinking her morning coffee when the alarm started screaming. She jumped up from her chair and ran to the control room of Luna Station. Red lights were flashing everywhere. "What's happening?" she shouted over the noise. Lieutenant Bobby Clark was staring at his screen with wide eyes. "Captain, you need to see this. There's a ship coming toward us from deep space." Lisa looked at the screen. A small dot was moving closer to Earth. "So? Ships come here all the time?" Bobby shook his head. "No, ma'am. This one is different. It's sending human codes. Old human codes." Lisa felt her stomach drop. "Show me." The screen changed. Now she could see the ship clearly. It looked like an old Earth ship from many years ago. The name on the side made her hands shake. "ESS Horizon," she whispered. Everyone in the control room went quiet. They all knew that name. The Horizon had left Earth 37 years ago with 50 people on board. It was supposed to explore the Vega system and come back in 2 years, but it never came back. Everyone thought the crew was dead. Lisa grabbed the radio. "Get me Admiral Coleman right now." While she waited, she watched the ship get closer. It looked exactly the same as when it left Earth. No damage, no signs of age. It was impossible. "Martinez, what's the emergency?" Admiral Coleman's voice came through the radio. "Sir, the ESS Horizon just appeared at the edge of our solar system. It's requesting permission to dock." There was a long silence, then Coleman said, "That's impossible. The Horizon has been missing for 37 years. "I know, sir. But it's really here. The ship looks perfect. And it's sending the right codes." Coleman was quiet for a moment. "I'm sending Dr. Nina Foster to meet with you. Don't let that ship dock until we know what's going on." Lisa spent the next hour watching the Horizon get closer. The ship moved in a strange way. It didn't use engines like normal ships. It just glided through space like it was floating on water. Dr. Foster arrived on the next transport ship. She was a tall woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She had studied alien life for 20 years and knew more about space than almost anyone. "Where is it?" Foster asked as soon as she walked into the control room. Lisa pointed at the main screen. The Horizon was now close enough to see clearly. It looked exactly like the old pictures in the history books. Foster stared at the ship. "This doesn't make sense. Ships don't just disappear for 37 years and come back looking new." "Should we let them dock?" Lisa asked. Foster thought for a minute. "Yes, but carefully. Put guards everywhere and keep our weapons ready." Lisa sent a message to the Horizon. "ESS Horizon, you are cleared to dock at Bay 7. Please move slowly and follow our guidance." The reply came back immediately. "Thank you, Luna Station. This is Commander Jake Peterson. We're happy to be home." Lisa felt chills run down her back. Jake Peterson was the name of the Horizon's captain from 37 years ago. But that was impossible. He would be an old man now, if he was still alive. The Horizon moved to the docking bay without any help. It landed perfectly, like the pilot had done it 1,000 times before. Lisa and Foster watched from the control room as the ship's door opened. A man walked out first. He was tall and strong with brown hair and kind eyes. He looked exactly like the old pictures of Commander Peterson, but he looked the same age as when he left Earth 37 years ago. Behind him came more people. Lisa counted them as they walked out. 50 people, just like the original crew. They all looked the same age as when they left. It was like they had been frozen in time. "This is impossible," Foster whispered. The crew walked calmly toward the station entrance. They didn't seem worried or scared. They looked confident, like they knew something important. Lisa and Foster met them at the entrance. Commander Peterson stepped forward and smiled. "Captain Martinez, Dr. Foster. Thank you for welcoming us home." Lisa stared at him. "You're really Jake Peterson?" "Yes, I am. I know this must be confusing. We have a lot to explain." Foster stepped closer. "Where have you been for 37 years? Why don't you look older?" Peterson's smile faded a little. We've been somewhere amazing, somewhere that changed everything we thought we knew about the universe. And about humanity. He looked around at his crew. They all had the same confident look in their eyes. We learned things that will change Earth forever. We learned that humans can do things that no one thought possible. Things that even the aliens don't understand. Lisa felt confused. What kind of things? Peterson looked serious. Things that will make humanity the most important species in the galaxy. But first, we need to talk to your leaders. What we have to share will change everything. Behind Peterson, his crew nodded. Lisa noticed that they all seemed to move together, like they were connected somehow. We need to call Admiral Coleman, Foster said quietly. Peterson heard her. Yes, please do. And call the Earth Council too. They need to hear this. Humanity's future depends on what we learned out there. Lisa looked at the crew of the Horizon. They had been missing for 37 years, but they looked exactly the same. They talked about impossible things and seemed to know secrets that could change the world. She picked up her radio. Admiral Coleman, this is Captain Martinez. The crew of the Horizon is here, and sir, I think everything is about to change. Admiral Coleman arrived at Luna Station 6 hours later with a team of scientists and military officers. He walked into the meeting room where Commander Peterson and his crew were waiting. Coleman was an old man now, with white hair and deep lines on his face. Peterson looked exactly the same as he did 37 years ago. Jake, Coleman said quietly, you haven't aged a day. Peterson stood up and shook the Admiral's hand. Gary, it's good to see you. I'm sorry we were gone so long. Coleman sat down heavily. 37 years, Jake. Your wife died 10 years ago. Your children are older than you look now. Peterson's face showed sadness for the first time. I know. We felt the time passing, but differently. Where we went, time doesn't work the same way. Dr. Foster sat down across from Peterson. Next to him were his chief engineer Alex Torres and science officer Kate Wilson. They both looked young and calm, just like their commander. Tell us where you went, Foster said. Peterson looked at his crew, then back at the Earth officials. We were studying that energy signal near Vega like planned, but when we got close, something grabbed our ship. We thought it was a black hole at first. Alex Torres spoke up. Our engines stopped working, all our systems went crazy, then everything went white. Kate Wilson continued the story. When we could see again, we were somewhere else. Not in normal space. It was like being inside a bubble that existed between dimensions. Foster frowned. That's impossible. There's no such thing as space between dimensions. Peterson smiled. That's what we thought too. But we were wrong about many things. He stood up and walked to the window. Outside, Earth looked blue and beautiful in the distance. We found beings there. Ancient beings who called themselves the Architects. They had been waiting for us. Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Brooks, the military representative, leaned forward. Waiting. For you? Why? Because humans are special, Peterson said. More special than we ever knew. The Architects told us that in all their millions of years they had only found a few species like us. Coleman shook his head. Special how? Humans are nothing compared to the advanced alien races. We're barely allowed in the Galactic Federation. Kate. Wilson laughed softly. That's because no one knows what humans can really do. Not even us until now. She held up her hand. Everyone watched as a small light appeared above her palm. It wasn't from any device. The light was coming from her hand. Itself, Foster gasped. How are you doing that? The Architects taught us, Kate said. They showed us that human minds can connect directly to the forces that control the universe. We can change reality with our thoughts. Brooks stood up quickly. That's impossible. You're using some kind of trick. Alex Torres smiled. He picked up a broken tablet from the table. The screen was cracked and it wouldn't turn on. He held it in both hands and closed his eyes. Everyone watched as the cracks disappeared. The screen became perfect again. The tablet turned on and worked. Perfectly. No tricks, Alex said. Just human ability that we never knew we had. The room was silent. Coleman stared at the tablet. This violates every law of physics we know. Peterson sat back down. No, it doesn't. It uses laws we didn't know existed. The architects explained that consciousness is a fundamental force like gravity or electromagnetism. Human consciousness is particularly strong. Foster was writing notes as fast as she could. How is this possible? What makes humans different? Kate. Wilson answered. The architects said that most species develop technology to change their environment, but humans have something rare. We can change the environment with our minds if we learn how. They didn't give us machines or weapons, Peterson added. They gave us knowledge about ourselves. They woke up abilities that were always inside us. Brooks looked worried. What kind of abilities? Alex Torres stood up. He walked to the wall and put his hand against it. The metal wall began to bend and reshape itself around his hand. When he pulled his hand away, there was a perfect handprint pressed into the solid metal. We can manipulate matter, Alex said. We can change the shape of things, make them stronger or weaker, even change what they're made of. Kate Wilson added, we can sense things across great distances. We can communicate without words. We can even affect gravity and time in small ways. Coleman looked scared. This is dangerous. If humans can do these things, what happens to the balance of power in the galaxy? Peterson's expression became serious. That's why we came back. The architects warned us that other species would fear us if they learned about our abilities. Some would try to destroy us. Others would try to capture us and study us. But we can't hide this forever, Kate said. More humans need to learn these abilities. The architects said that Earth will need them soon. Foster looked up from her notes. Need them for what? Peterson walked back to the window. The architects showed us images from deep space. Something is coming toward our galaxy. Something that has destroyed other galaxies before. All the species in our galaxy will need to work together to survive. And humans? Coleman asked. Humans will be the key, Peterson said. Our abilities are what will save everyone. But first we need to teach other humans how to use them. Brooks stood up. I need to report this to Earth Command immediately. This changes everything. Peterson nodded. Yes, it does. The architects said that humanity's time of hiding is over. We're about to become the most important species in the galaxy. Kate Wilson smiled. The other aliens think they're more advanced than us. They have no idea what's coming. Coleman looked at his old friend. Jake, are you sure about this? Are you sure humans can really do these things? Peterson looked at his crew. Alex Torres made a small metal ball appear in his hand from nothing. Kate Wilson made the lights in the room dim and brighten with just a thought. We're sure, Peterson said. And we're going to prove it to the whole galaxy. Foster closed her notebook. We need to start testing this immediately. We need to understand how these abilities work. Peterson smiled. Don't worry, Dr. Foster. We're going to teach you everything we learned. Humanity is about to change forever. Outside the window, Earth continued to spin peacefully. But inside the station, everyone knew that nothing would ever be the same again. 3 days after the crew of the Horizon returned, alien ships started arriving at Earth. The first to come was Ambassador Zeth Ka from the Centauri Collective. His ship was huge and silver, 10 times bigger than any human vessel. Behind him came ships from the Galactic Federation. Captain Martinez watched the alien fleet gather near Earth. There were 12 ships total, all much more advanced than anything humans had ever built. She felt worried as she counted them. They came fast, she said to Dr. Foster. Foster nodded. Word travels quickly in the galaxy. They know something happened here. Admiral Coleman received a message from Ambassador Zeth Ka. The ambassador wanted to meet immediately to discuss the returned human ship. His message was not friendly. It demanded answers about the Horizon's new capabilities. The meeting took place on Luna Station. Ambassador Zeth Ka was tall and thin, with blue skin and 4 arms. He had been dealing with humans for 20 years and always treated them like children. Other alien representatives came with him, including General Korex from the Draxian Empire and Trade Minister Vala from the Arctilian Federation. Commander Peterson and his crew sat across from the aliens. The humans looked calm, but the aliens seemed nervous. "Explain what happened to your ship," Zethka demanded. "Our sensors detected energy signatures that should not exist." Peterson smiled. "We discovered something amazing, Ambassador. Something that will change how everyone thinks about humans." General Corex, a large reptilian alien with red scales, leaned forward. "You will show us this technology immediately. The Galactic Federation has the right to inspect all new developments." "It's not technology," Kate Wilson said quietly. "It's ability." The aliens looked confused. Zethka waved one of his 4 hands. "Explain." Peterson stood up. "We'd rather show you. Captain Martinez, can you arrange for us to use the Horizon for a demonstration?" Martinez looked at Admiral Coleman, who nodded slowly. "Where do you want to go?" "Jupiter system," Peterson said. "Plenty of empty space there." 2 hours later, a small fleet headed toward Jupiter. The Horizon led the way, followed by 3 alien ships and 2 human escort vessels. Captain Martinez was on the bridge of her ship, watching everything carefully. The Horizon moved strangely through space. It didn't fire engines like normal ships. It just glided smoothly, faster than should be possible. "They're not using any propulsion we can detect," reported Lieutenant Clark from his sensor station. Dr. Foster was studying her readings. "The energy signatures are completely unknown. It's like they're bending space around the ship." When they reached Jupiter's orbit, Peterson's voice came over the radio. "Please observe carefully. We'll start with something simple." The Horizon was moving at incredible speed toward a large asteroid. Everyone expected it to change course or slow down. Instead, it hit the asteroid at full speed. But instead of exploding, the ship passed right through the rock like it wasn't there. "Impossible," General Corex growled over the radio. The Horizon turned around and came back. This time, Alex Torres's voice came over the radio. "Now we'll show you something else." The ship moved toward another asteroid, but this time it stopped instantly. One moment it was traveling at enormous speed, the next moment it was perfectly still. No gradual slowing down, just an instant stop. Ambassador Zethka's voice was shaking. "This violates fundamental physics. How are you doing this?" Kate Wilson answered. "We're manipulating matter and energy directly. Our consciousness can interface with quantum fields." To prove her point, the Horizon suddenly created a bright energy field around itself. The field was beautiful, like rainbow-colored lightning. Then Kate made the field reach out and touch a nearby asteroid. The rock began to change shape, becoming a perfect sphere. Dr. Foster was recording everything. "They're transmuting matter, changing its basic structure." The demonstration continued for an hour. The crew of the Horizon showed abilities that seemed magical. They made asteroids disappear and reappear somewhere else. They created energy barriers that could stop anything. They even seemed to predict where other objects would move before they moved. Finally, Peterson's voice came over the radio again. "This is just the beginning. Every human has these abilities. We just needed to learn how to use them." The alien ships were silent for a long time. Then General Corex spoke, his voice full of anger. "This is a threat to galactic stability. Humans cannot be allowed to develop these powers." "Too late," Peterson said calmly. "We are already teaching other humans. Soon, thousands of us will have these abilities." Ambassador Zethka tried to sound diplomatic. "Perhaps we can work together, share this knowledge with the Federation." Kate Wilson laughed. "You've treated humans like second-class citizens for decades. Now you want to share our gifts?" The tension was growing. Captain Martinez could hear it in everyone's voices. The aliens were scared, and scared aliens were dangerous. "We should return to Earth," Admiral Coleman said over the radio. As the small fleet headed home, Dr. Foster noticed something interesting. "Captain, look at the human crew members who volunteered for this mission." Martinez looked at her crew. Several of them were staring intently at their instruments, concentrating hard. Suddenly, Lieutenant Clark gasped. "Captain, I can feel the asteroid field. Not just see it on sensors, I can actually feel where each rock is." Pilot Jenny Adams spoke up from her station. "I don't need navigation computers anymore. I can sense the gravitational currents directly," Dr. Foster wrote notes quickly. It's spreading. Just being near the Horizon crew is awakening abilities in other humans. Back on the Horizon, Commander Peterson was talking quietly with his crew. They're afraid, Alex Torres said. Good, Peterson replied. Fear will make them act. And when they act, the rest of the galaxy will see what humans can really do. Kate Wilson was monitoring alien communications. They're calling for emergency meetings. Some want to quarantine Earth, others want to attack before we get stronger. Peterson nodded. The architects warned us this would happen, but they also said we're ready. As Earth came into view, everyone could see more alien ships arriving. The word was spreading across the galaxy. Humanity had changed, and no one knew what that meant for the future. Captain Martinez looked at her crew, who were still discovering new abilities. Admiral, I think we're about to find out if humans are really as special as the Horizon crew believes. Coleman's voice was grim. We better hope they're right, because the whole galaxy is about to test us. The demonstration was over, but the real challenge was just beginning. Within a week, the news spread across the entire galaxy. Every alien species learned that humans could do impossible things. The reaction was immediate and dangerous. The Arctilian Trade Federation stopped all business with Earth. Their huge cargo, ships that used to bring supplies to human colonies, turned around and left. Trade Minister Vala sent a message saying that humans were too dangerous to work with. The Krillian Empire was even worse. General Vextor, their military leader, announced that humanity was a threat to all life in the galaxy. He began moving war fleets toward human space. Captain Martinez watched the reports come in from across the galaxy. Admiral, we're being cut off from everything. No trade, no diplomatic contact, no support. Admiral Coleman looked tired. He had been working day and night since the aliens started their embargo. How many human colonies are asking for help? 12 so far, Martinez replied. The outer colonies are scared. They don't have enough supplies to last long without trade. Meanwhile, Commander Peterson and his crew were working frantically on Earth. They had set up training centers in 5 different cities. Hundreds of humans were volunteering to learn the new abilities. Dr. Foster was studying the volunteers carefully. The results are amazing but unpredictable, she told Peterson. Some people learn quickly, others struggle. In the New York Training Center, Jenny Adams had become one of the best students. She was a shuttle pilot who volunteered after the Jupiter demonstration. Now she could navigate spacecraft without any instruments at all. I can feel the gravity wells of planets and stars, she explained to other students. It's like the universe is talking to me directly. At the same center, Bobby Clark was learning to repair machines with his mind. He could look at a broken device and understand exactly what was wrong with it. Then he could fix it just by thinking about it. It's not magic, he told the amazed watchers. It's like my brain can see the atomic structure of things. I just convinced the atoms to go back, where they belong. But not everyone was successful. Some volunteers couldn't learn anything at all. Others could do small things but nothing impressive. Kate Wilson explained that human minds were all different. Some brains are naturally good at this, she said. Others need more time. But everyone has the potential. The training was interrupted by urgent news. The Krillian Empire had attacked the human colony on Kepler 442b. 3 Krillian warships had destroyed the orbital defense platforms and were demanding the colonists' surrender. Admiral Coleman called an emergency meeting. We need to respond, but our regular fleet can't match Krillian technology. Commander Peterson stood up. Send me and my crew and bring some of the humans who have learned the abilities. That's crazy, Lieutenant Colonel Brooks said. It's 3 warships against 1 old exploration ship. Peterson smiled. Trust us. 2 days later, the Horizon arrived at Kepler 442b with 12 human volunteers. The colony was under siege. The Krillian ships were huge and covered in weapons. The Horizon looked tiny next to them. General Karseth, the Krillian commander, sent a message. Human ship, surrender immediately or be destroyed, Peterson replied calmly. We're here to protect our people. Leave now and no one gets hurt. The Krillians laughed. Their first warship fired its main plasma cannon at the Horizon. The energy beam was powerful enough to destroy a city, but the beam never hit the ship. Kate Wilson, concentrating hard, created an energy field that absorbed the plasma completely. The deadly weapon just disappeared. Impossible, General Karseth growled. The second Krillian ship fired missiles, but Jenny Adams, using her new piloting abilities, made the Horizon dance through space like it was alive. The missiles couldn't even get close. Then Alex Torres showed what humans could really do. He focused his mind on the first Krillian warship. The huge vessel began to shake. Its metal hull started to bend and twist. "What's happening to our ship?" the Krillian crew screamed. Torres was reshaping their hull, making their weapons point in wrong directions. The mighty warship became helpless in minutes. On the second ship, Bobby Clark used his abilities differently. He reached out with his mind and found the ship's power systems. Then he convinced the atomic structure of their fuel cells to become inert. The warship lost all power and began drifting. The third Krillian ship tried to escape, but the human volunteers worked together. They created a gravity field that held the ship in place. Then they sent a message to the crew. "Surrender, now, or we'll do to your ship what we did to the others." General Karseth was shocked. 3 of the most advanced warships in the galaxy had been defeated by humans using no weapons at all, just their minds. "This is impossible," he said over the radio. "How are you doing this?" Commander Peterson answered. "We told you, humans are more than you thought. Now leave our space and don't come back." The Krillian ships limped away, damaged but not destroyed. Peterson had made his point without killing anyone. The news of the battle spread even faster than before. The mighty Krillian Empire, feared across the galaxy, had been defeated by 1 human ship and 12 volunteers. Ambassador Zeth Ka sent an urgent message to Earth. "The Galactic Federation wants to meet immediately. This situation is out of control." But other things were happening too. On distant worlds, alien scientists were studying the reports about human abilities. Some species were amazed. Others were terrified. Dr. Foster received a secret message from an unknown source. "Ancient powers stir. The ethereal consortium awakens. Humanity has crossed a threshold that cannot be uncrossed." She showed the message to Admiral Coleman. "Sir, I think we've gotten the attention of forces we don't understand yet." Coleman looked at the reports from Kepler 442b. 12 humans with new abilities had defeated 3 warships. If thousands of humans learned these powers, they could change the balance of the entire galaxy. "Get Peterson back here immediately," he ordered. "We need to prepare for whatever comes next." On the horizon, Commander Peterson was talking with his crew about the battle. "The architects said this would happen. They said other species would test us." Kate Wilson was monitoring galactic communications. "It's not over. More species are mobilizing. Some want to ally with us. Others want to destroy us before we get stronger." Alex Torres looked out at the stars. "The galaxy is scared of us now. That's good. Fear will make them respect us." Peterson nodded. "But the real test is still coming. The architects showed us what's approaching from outside our galaxy. We need to be ready." As the Horizon headed back to Earth, signals were racing across space. Ancient beings who had slept for millions of years were waking up. The galaxy was about to change forever, and humanity was at the center of it all. The defeat of the Krillian warships changed everything. Within days, alien fleets from across the galaxy began moving toward Earth. Some came as friends, others as enemies, but all came because they were afraid. Captain Martinez stood on the bridge of Luna Station, watching dozens of alien ships arrive. "I count 47 vessels now, Admiral. More coming every hour." Admiral Coleman joined her at the observation window. "The biggest gathering of alien ships in galactic history, all because of 1 human crew that came home." On Earth, the training centers were working around the clock. Thousands of humans were learning the new abilities. Some became experts quickly. Others needed more time, but progress was happening everywhere. Dr. Foster was amazed by what she saw. In London, a group of construction workers had learned to build skyscrapers in days instead of years. They could reshape metal and concrete with their minds, making buildings stronger than anything built before. In Tokyo, Doctors were learning to heal people by understanding their bodies at the atomic level. Diseases that had killed humans for centuries were being cured by doctors who could see and fix problems directly. It's like humanity is evolving, Foster told Commander Peterson. Every day, people discover new things they can do. Peterson nodded. The architects said this would happen. Once we learned to use our consciousness properly, there would be no limits to what humans could achieve. But the galaxy was not waiting patiently. The ethereal consortium had finally revealed themselves. They were beings of pure energy who had ruled the galaxy millions of years ago. Most species thought they were myths. 3 ships made of living light approached Earth. They were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. When they spoke, their voices seemed to come from everywhere at once. "We are the descendants of the architects," they announced. "We have returned because humanity has awakened." Admiral Coleman met with them in a special chamber that could contain their energy forms. The ethereal beings looked like floating stars, bright and constantly changing. "Your species has crossed a threshold," the lead ethereal said. "This has happened only 5 times in galactic history. 4 of those species destroyed themselves with their new power." "What about the 5th?" Coleman asked. "They became us," the ethereal replied. "We transcended physical form millions of years ago. We have been waiting for another species to join us." Peterson and his crew were brought to the meeting. The ethereals examined them with what seemed like approval. "You learned well from our ancient cousins, the architects," another ethereal said. "But your training is not complete. A great danger approaches that will test all awakened beings." "Kate," Wilson stepped forward. "We know. The architects showed us images of something coming from outside our galaxy." The lead ethereal's light grew brighter. "The Devourers. They have consumed 17 galaxies. They turn living energy into fuel for their endless hunger. They will arrive here within 10 years. The room went silent. Admiral Coleman felt his blood turn cold. "How do we fight something that destroys entire galaxies?" "Together," the ethereal replied. "All awakened species must unite. That is why humanity's emergence is so important. You have a gift that even we lack." "What gift?" Dr. Foster asked. "You can awaken others," the ethereal explained. "We transcended individually, slowly, over millions of years. But humans can help. Entire species awaken quickly. You are teachers of consciousness." Over the next few months, everything changed. The hostile alien fleets that had come to threaten Earth found themselves learning from humans instead. Captain Martinez couldn't believe what she was seeing. The Draxian warriors, who had planned to conquer humanity, were now students in the training centers. It turned out that their warrior spirits made them excellent at consciousness manipulation. The Arctilian traders discovered they could sense economic patterns across space directly, making them incredibly wealthy and generous at the same time. Even the proud Centaurians began learning from humans. Ambassador Zeth Ka, who had once looked down on humanity, was now one of Peterson's most dedicated students. "How is this possible?" Martinez asked Dr. Foster. "These species had thousands of years to develop these abilities. Why can humans teach them so quickly?" Foster smiled. "Because humans are natural teachers. We've always shared knowledge, helped each other grow. The architects chose us for a reason." The galaxy was transforming. Planets that had been enemies for centuries were working together. Trade flowed freely as species learned to sense each other's needs directly. Wars ended as different races discovered they could communicate through consciousness itself. Jenny Adams had become one of the galaxy's best pilots, teaching others to navigate by feeling space-time currents. Bobby Clark was leading construction projects on dozens of worlds, showing aliens how to build cities that seemed to grow naturally from the ground. But the most amazing change was on Earth itself. The planet was becoming something beautiful, beyond imagination. Cities floated in the air, powered by human consciousness. Deserts became gardens as people learned to change matter at the molecular level. The oceans were cleaner than they had been in centuries. "We're not just changing ourselves," Peterson told a gathering of world leaders. "We're changing what it means to be alive in this universe." The ethereals watched all this with approval. Humanity has become the catalyst we hoped for, their leader said. When the Devourers arrive, the galaxy will be ready. Dr. Foster was studying reports from across known space. Commander, we're receiving messages from species in other galaxies. Word is spreading that someone has found a way to awaken consciousness, abilities quickly. Peterson looked at the stars through his window. The architects told us this was our destiny, to help the universe become something greater. Admiral Coleman joined them. The latest count shows over 10,000 human teachers working on alien worlds. Every day, more species discover abilities they never knew they had. Kate Wilson was monitoring deep space sensors. And just in time, I'm detecting unusual energy, signatures at the galaxy's edge. Something big is coming. Peterson gathered his original crew around him. They had returned from the architects changed, but they had changed the galaxy even more. Are we ready? Alex Torres asked. Peterson looked at his friends, then at the report showing millions of awakened beings across the galaxy working together. We're ready, he said. Humanity came home not just to save ourselves, but to save everyone. And I think we're going to succeed. Outside, Earth spun peacefully in space, now the teacher world of an awakened galaxy, preparing for the greatest challenge any universe had ever faced.